mithya. It is, mithya means false. It is not false, it is truth. But you are using it in a false way. That is arthless. This is the expansion of energy of Krishna. So this energy you are not utilizing for Krishna, but you are utilizing the energy for your sense gratification. That is mistake. But otherwise, how it can be false? It is not false, it is creation of God. Krishna says, Bhumi rapo analo vayu khangamano buddhiro Binna prakriti me astadha. Me. It is Krishna's energy. How Krishna's energy can be false? If Krishna is true, Krishna's energy is also true.
मला घरी जायचं. मी 3-4 महिन्यापासून हॉस्पिटलमध्येच आहे. प्लीज मला मदत करा. मला घरी जायचं.
But it means just like the cloud. You cannot say the cloud is false. Cloud is fact. Although it is temporary. The cloud does not remain in the sky permanently. It appears and again disappears. But when it appears, there is rain, there is reaction of the rain, vegetation on the ground, on the field. How you can say it is false? But it is temporary. That is actual philosophy. So this material world is not false, as the Mayavadi philosopher says. Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya. Jagan is not Mithya. It is fact. But we are using it in a way which is false. We are using it in the way for our sense gratification. That is false. But the material world is not false. Our Krishna consciousness movement is just to teach people how to use it properly. That is Krishna consciousness movement. Just like we are utilizing this microphone. It is not false, but we are utilizing it for spreading Krishna consciousness. And if you use it for something else, for some political propaganda or some other propaganda, then it is false. But if you use it for propagating Krishna consciousness, it is not false. Therefore, the conclusion is, the microphone is not false. Its use is false. If you properly use, that is wanted. Krishna consciousness movement is for that purpose. Ishavāsamidam sarvam. Everything Krishna's. Everything of the Supreme Personality belongs to Him. Actually that is the fact. So if we misuse it for our purpose or for our sense gratification, that is false. So here Devahoti is requesting Bhagavan Kapildev that I am in this illusion, aham mameti, by false conception of life. Kindly you dissipate this illusion because you are my Guru. Jo avagraham aham mameti iti edasmin jojitastaya. You can say then how I am engaged in these material activities. That is also the chance is given, the opportunity is given by Krishna. Krishna is very kind. He says, Je dathamang prapaddante tang tathaiva bhajama. If you want Krishna to give you material advantages, He will give you, take it. And if you want from Krishna, again, revival of your spiritual life, then He will give you. Therefore Krishna says, Je dathamang prapaddante. Krishna is very kind, just like a kind father. He says, sometimes, my dear boy, you don't do this. But if the boy, the son persists, all right, you can do it at your risk. This is going on. This is going on. Krishna bhuliya jeev bhogavan chakare. Pasete maya tare japotiya dhare. Maya means when you forget Krishna and you want to enjoy this material world to the best capacity, means as far as we can do with our senses, Krishna gives us opportunity. Krishna gives us opportunity. And therefore so many varieties of life. If somebody wants to eat without any discrimination, anything, there are many persons, even in the so-called civilized world, they eat anything and everything. But that is misuse of life. Human life is meant for eating Krishna's prasadam, not anything and everything. That is not human life. Human life is meant for eating Jaggasistasino santa mucchante sarvakilmishe. Because this material life is all sinful life. Because everything belongs to Krishna and we are possessing things for my satisfaction. This is sinful. Criminal. Suppose if your property I use for my sense gratification, it is criminal. Similarly, everything belongs to Krishna. Bhoktaram jaggatavasam sarvaloko maheswaram. Krishna says, I am the proprietor. So, if you don't acknowledge that, if you use this word for your sense gratification, then you are criminal. Therefore, it is said that you offer jagga, offer to Krishna, and then you take it. Jaggasistasino santa mucchante sarvakilmisha. You bring things, you have to eat. That's a fact. Krishna is giving you opportunity of eating nice things, food, grains, fruits, flowers, milk, so many things. So, you prepare, offer to Krishna. That is called jagga. Jagga means satisfaction of the Supreme Person. That is called jagga. So, jagyarthe karma natra lokayam karma bandhana. If you do not work for performing jagga, then you are becoming entangled. Jagyarthe karma natra lokayam karma bandhana. And if you perform jagga and then you enjoy, tena taktena bhunjitha, we require our maintenance of life and soul, that is a fact. But tena taktena bhunjitha, you enjoy everything which is given to you as prasadam, as remnants, as mercy. This is Vaishnava life. Vaishnava life means they do not. What is this temple? The temple is they are being trained up how to accept the remnants of foodstuff of Krishna. We don't cook for ourselves. If we cook for ourselves, then as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Je pachanti atmakarana bhunyante te abhanga papam. That simply eating sinful things, and people are doing that. They do not offer to Krishna and they eat whatever they like. The result is that you have misused this opportunity of human life to understand Krishna and go back to home, back to Godhead, so that you will be happy eternally, you will be freed from this entanglement of bhutta bhutta praliyate. You enjoy one duration of life, again you have to give it up, and then you accept another duration of life, bhutta bhutta praliyate. This human life is meant for getting rid of this business, taking birth and dying, taking birth and dying. This is meant, this opportunity is given, but if you do not use it properly, you use it as cats and dogs and hogs, then by nature's law you will get the body next life, cats and dogs and hogs. You eat, even stewed. Because you had no discrimination in eating the all right, you can now eat the pig's body, hog's body you get, and eat even up to stool. That opportunity is given. And you have sex life with your mother and sister. You see, hogs life, they have no sex discrimination. They do not discriminate, she is my mother, she is my sister. No. So this is hog's life. Therefore Shastra says that don't be foolish to lead a life like hogs. Nayang deho deho bhajang niloke kastana kamana arhati birbhujangaji. The material civilization should not be like that. What is that? Now, simply for sense gratification. Nayang deho deho bhajang niloke kastana kaman. That sense gratification is also not very easy. People are working so hard. They are stealing, even risking life. So many things. That is not very easy going life. Kastan kama. Everything is studied by Shastra. Arhati, birbhujanga. This kind of life is meant for the hogs, meant for like that. Human life is meant for tapasya. Tapodivyam putraka jina suddhe satya. Suddhe. You have to purify your existence. Now, our existence is not purified. We get this contaminated body and change it. Again another contaminated body, another, just like one man is suffering from disease. One contamination, then another contamination, another. This is not life. You purify yourself, and that purification begins when you accept the life of austerities. Tapasya. Tapasya means voluntarily accepting some. This is not inconvenient. Just like in our society, it is enjoined, the students, they should voluntarily accept the principle, no illicit sex life. No meat eating, no fish eating, no, nothing of this sort. No intoxication, and no gambling. This is tapasya, especially for these European American students. They are from the beginning of their life, they are accustomed to these habits. But they have voluntarily given up on my word, and that is Guru's business, to purify so that he may be saved from this illusion. He must be purified. So this little inconvenience for higher happiness, that is desired, that is required. Tapo dibbang putraka jena suddheta satya jasmad brahma sokham anantam. Anantam. You are after happiness, but you do not know how to enjoy happiness. That you do not know. That is stated in the Bhagavatam. Sukham atantikam jatat tat otindriya grayam. Otindriya, not these false senses. We want sense enjoyment, but not these covered senses. We are spiritual. We have got spiritual body. That body is now covered with this material garment. Therefore, it is covered. The senses are covered. With covered senses, you cannot enjoy actually. The senses must be open. That means you can enjoy life when your senses are open, not covered by this material body. That is recommended. One who is interested in Krishna consciousness, it is said, Sarvapadhi vinimuktam tatparatena nirmalam. Nirmalam means purified. You have to become purified. And sarvopadhi vinimuktam. Now we are covered by this material body means I am covered by so many designations. I am American, I am Indian, I am Hindu, I am Muslim. These are all coverings, material. So you have to get freedom from this covering. You should not think that I am American or Indian or this or that. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised, Jiver Sarup hoy Nitya Krishna Das. When you understand simply that I am eternal servant of Krishna, that is Sarvapadhi Vinirmuktam. Meanwhile, and with that conception of life, Rishikena Rishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Rishikena means when your senses are now clean, without any covering, then with that senses, when you try to satisfy Krishna, Rishikena Rishikesa Sevanam, Krishna's name is another Rishikesa. Sinaya Rubhaya Madhye Rishikesa Sthapayame Uchchita. The Rishikesh name is there. Rishikesh means actually Krishna is the master of the senses. We are not proprietor of the senses. Krishna is the proprietor of the senses. So when our senses are purified and we apply them, after all our senses are employed for satisfaction of somebody, myself or somebody else. Actually somebody else. That is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moho, Matsarya. That is illusion. We are not serving ourselves. We are serving our lusty desires. Kam, Krodh. I am angry, therefore I am killing somebody. So, that is not mine, but I am servant of the anger. I am servant. I am not master. If I would have been master, then I could control my anger. But I am not. I am servant of anger. I am servant of lusty desire. So I am servant. But this servitude should be transferred to Krishna. That is perfection of life. Sarvapadhi vinirmuktam tatparatena nirmalam rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti ruttama. That is bhakti. And if you are situated in that transcendental position, bhakti, then you can understand Krishna. Bhakta mam abhijanati. Not by so-called speculation. No. That is not possible. Otherwise Krishna would have said, by jnana, by yoga, by karma, one could understand me. Krishna says, no, clearly. Bhaktya mam abhijanati, javana jaschami tattva. If you want to know Krishna as he is, then you have to accept this process of bhakti. And that bhakti means sarvapadhi vinirmuktam. You should not consider yourself. So this Krishna consciousness movement is actually the movement for unity of the whole world. And that is actually beginning. It is actually being happened. All classes of men, from all groups of men, all religious societies or nations, they are joining this movement. They are joining. Actually, there is the possibility. The United Nation could not unite the nation. But if you push on this Krishna consciousness movement, all people of different dimensions, of different nations, different religions, they will join. That is equal. So otherwise, we are in the moh, illusion. So it is the business of Guru to dissipate this illusion, darkness, and enlighten the student to the real life, ajnana